Egypt holds secrets that challenge history. Strange mummies, lost cities, star maps, and an eerie carving that looks inhuman. Were the ancients hiding something? In the depths of Egypt's ancient tombs, archaeologists have uncovered skulls that defy normal human anatomy. Long, unnatural, almost alien in shape. These discoveries have ignited debates among scientists and conspiracy theorists alike. Could these skulls belong to an undiscovered human lineage, or were they something entirely different? Most of the skulls found in Egypt follow typical human proportions, but a handful stand apart, with elongated craniums that look disturbingly unnatural. Some experts believe these skulls are the result of cranial binding, an ancient practice where a child's head was wrapped tightly to force it into an elongated shape. This custom was seen in different civilizations around the world, from the Mayans to tribes in Africa. But the Egyptian skulls present a different mystery. Some show no signs of artificial deformation at all. One of the most famous cases is the skull of an individual believed to be from the Amarna period, linked to Pharaoh Akhenaten. His statues and carvings already depict him with an unusually elongated head, narrow face, and strange body proportions. Some believe Akhenaten's entire bloodline carried this bizarre trait, and his son, the legendary Tutankhamun, may have inherited it as well. But if these skulls weren't shaped by human hands, what caused their extreme elongation? Some researchers point to genetics, suggesting a rare mutation. Others, however, speculate that the truth is far stranger. Could these skulls be evidence of an advanced civilization with extraterrestrial ties? Some theorists suggest Akhenaten may have been more than just an unusual ruler. His features, his religious shift toward worshipping a single sun-like god, and his mysterious lineage all fuel theories that he may have had knowledge beyond human understanding. A recently uncovered artifact in Egypt has left experts speechless. This mysterious carving, unlike anything seen before, was found deep within a hidden chamber near an ancient burial site. The figures have unnaturally elongated skulls, just like those discovered in the tombs of Amarna. But the real shock? The massive disc-shaped object at the center. Is this proof of something far more advanced than history admits? A forgotten civilization? A lost connection to something beyond our world? Tell us what you see in this image, fact or something else. Comment below. In the desert of Dashur stands one of Egypt's strangest structures, the bent pyramid. Unlike the perfectly symmetrical pyramids of Giza, this one looks wrong. Its lower half rises at a steep angle, but midway up, it suddenly changes direction as if the builders panicked and altered their plan. But why? Was it a mistake? Or does the bent pyramid hide something no one was meant to find? Egyptologists claim the abrupt shift in design was due to structural instability. If they had continued at the original angle, the pyramid might have collapsed. But some researchers argue there's more to the story. The bent pyramid is the only pyramid to retain much of its original smooth limestone casing. Why would they perfect the outer shell if they had made such a severe error? What's even more bizarre is what lies inside. Unlike most pyramids, which have a single burial chamber, the bent pyramid has two, one in the lower section and another higher up, connected by a narrow sloping passage. Who was important enough to need two tombs? Or was this pyramid built for something else entirely? Some theorists believe this wasn't meant to be a tomb at all, but an energy structure, part of a lost technology harnessed by the ancients. Others speculate the pyramid was abandoned for reasons that remain unknown, possibly even cursed. When researchers entered the upper chamber, they found no burial, no artifacts, just an eerie silence. No pharaoh was ever buried here. So why was it built? Could there be something still hidden beneath its foundation? Could this pyramid hold the key to secrets that rewrite history? Saqqara has always been a place of mystery. This vast necropolis, stretching far beyond the step pyramid of Djoser, hides thousands of tombs, some untouched for millennia. But among these ancient burials, a few have become infamous for something more than their historical value. Strange occurrences, eerie sensations, and unexplained accidents have made some archaeologists wonder, is something lurking within these ancient chambers? One of the most unsettling discoveries was a series of sealed tombs, eerily intact, despite their age. When researchers opened them, they expected to find the typical treasures and mummies. Instead, they uncovered something chilling, bodies that appeared twisted in terror, their mouths frozen in silent screams. Unlike the usual carefully prepared burials, these remains seemed hastily thrown inside, as if someone had wanted to seal them away forever. Shortly after the excavation, members of the research team reported strange symptoms, sudden fevers, hallucinations, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Some refused to re-enter the site, others suffered unexplained accidents. Was it just coincidence? The rational explanation points to ancient fungi or bacteria inside the tombs affecting those who inhaled it. But locals tell a different story. They believe some tombs in Saqqara were never meant to be disturbed, that whatever was buried there was locked away for a reason, and Saqqara holds more than just haunted tombs. Not far from these mysterious burials lies something even older, something that might be watching over this sacred ground. A line of ancient sphinxes, weathered by time, still stands as if guarding the entrance to secrets buried beneath the sands. Sphinxes in Egypt are more than just statues, they are silent sentinels, placed to guard temples, tombs, and hidden passageways. While the Great Sphinx of Giza is the most famous, Luxor holds something just as intriguing, a vast avenue of sphinxes, stretching nearly 2 miles between the temples of Karnak and Luxor. But were these statues simple decorations, or did they serve a greater purpose? For centuries, these sphinxes were buried beneath layers of sand and debris, forgotten by time. When archaeologists began unearthing them, they realized the sheer scale of this avenue. Over 1,000 sphinxes once lined this road, each carved with remarkable precision. Who built them? And why was such a monumental pathway hidden for so long? Some scholars believe the Avenue of Sphinxes was part of a sacred procession route, used for religious ceremonies linking the two great temples. But others question whether this was its only purpose. Some of these sphinxes are unlike any other in Egypt, strange facial features, unusual proportions. Could they represent forgotten rulers, or even beings unlike any we know? Even more intriguing is what lies beneath Luxor. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed structures and tunnels that remain unexplored, hinting at an entire lost city buried beneath the modern landscape. Could the Avenue of Sphinxes be more than just a ceremonial road? Could it be a clue pointing to something far older and more mysterious? Something strange has been found in the depths of Saqqara. Among the intricate carvings on the walls of an ancient tomb, researchers uncovered a figure that defies explanation. Unlike the familiar depictions of gods, pharaohs, and animals, this one stands apart. A humanoid form, but with an elongated head, unusual proportions, and large, dark eyes. It doesn't resemble any known deity of ancient Egypt. Theories range from a symbolic statue to something far more unsettling. Ancient astronaut enthusiasts claim this is yet another piece of evidence that the Egyptians encountered beings beyond Earth. Historians, of course, dismiss these ideas, insisting that the figure is simply a misinterpreted artistic choice. But here's the real question. If this were just another carving, why does it feel so out of place? Saqqara has already given us eerie tombs, lost sphinxes, and artifacts that defy logic. But this discovery raises a new question. How much do we really know about the past? And what else is still waiting to be uncovered beneath the sands? Deep in the Valley of the Kings, archaeologists uncovered a tomb unlike any other, KV55. Just a number at first, but soon it became one of the most haunting discoveries in Egypt's history. The tomb contained a single sarcophagus, its gold-plated mask violently ripped away as if someone had tried to erase the identity of the person buried inside. Who was this forgotten ruler, and why was their legacy so ruthlessly destroyed? The artifacts inside hinted at a connection to the heretic pharaoh Akhenaten, the ruler who abandoned Egypt's traditional gods in favor of the mysterious sun disk, Aten. Some believed the tomb belonged to Akhenaten himself. Others suggested it held Queen Taya, his mother. But the real mystery began when they examined the body. The mummy inside was in terrible condition, with its bones decayed unnaturally fast, as if something had accelerated its decomposition. Then came the strange events. Several researchers who entered KV55 fell ill. One even collapsed on site. Tools went missing. Photographs mysteriously failed to develop. Some whispered about the pharaoh's curse, a legend tied to tombs that were never meant to be opened. Scientists, of course, blamed bacteria or ancient mold, but others wondered, was the destruction of this mummy deliberate? Was someone centuries ago trying to ensure this pharaoh was never remembered? Despite years of research, KV55 remains unsolved. DNA tests suggest the mummy was likely Akhenaten, but questions still linger. Why was his tomb so hastily constructed? Why was his burial erased? And most chillingly, why did his body decay faster than any other mummy in the Valley of the Kings? Could something about Akhenaten's reign be a secret even modern historians aren't meant to uncover? High above the burial chambers of Egypt's ancient rulers, hidden in the shadows of stone ceilings, are carvings that have left historians questioning everything we know about the past. Celestial diagrams, cosmic pathways, and precise constellations, etched into the tombs thousands of years ago. Were these just decorative religious symbols, or could they be something far more advanced? One of the most striking examples is found in the tomb of Senenmut, an official under Pharaoh Hatshepsut. His burial chamber's ceiling is covered in a star map so accurate that it aligns with real astronomical patterns. It even includes depictions of planetary movements, something historians once believed was beyond ancient Egyptian knowledge. But how did they know? How were they able to map the heavens with such precision without telescopes or modern science? Then there's the Dendera zodiac, a mysterious circular relief found in the Temple of Hathor. It doesn't match typical Egyptian star charts, leading some to wonder if it represents knowledge passed down from an even older civilization, or from somewhere else entirely. Some theorists believe these maps could be records of celestial visitors, a way for the ancients to document something they witnessed in the sky. Others claim the Egyptians may have understood the cosmos in ways we still don't fully grasp. Skeptics argue that these star maps were simply religious, tied to the Egyptian belief in the afterlife. The sky was seen as a great cosmic river, guiding the dead to eternity. But what if there was something more? What if these weren't just symbols, but actual coordinates? Could Egypt's greatest tombs have been designed as guides to something beyond our planet? The deeper archaeologists dig, the more questions arise. What else is waiting to be discovered on the ceilings of Egypt's ancient temples? What knowledge did these builders leave behind, and who or what gave it to them? In the depths of Egypt's tombs, mummies are usually found in peaceful repose, carefully wrapped for their journey to the afterlife. But some discoveries have shattered this expectation. Mummies with mouths frozen open in silent screams, faces twisted in agony. Were these people cursed, executed, or did they suffer a fate even more disturbing? One of the most infamous cases is the screaming mummy of Deir el-Bahari. When archaeologists unwrapped it, they were confronted with a terrifying sight. A body contorted in a rictus of pain, its mouth gaping open. Unlike the carefully embalmed pharaohs, this individual had been hastily wrapped with no sign of the traditional rituals. Some believe this was Prince Pentaur, a royal traitor who took part in a conspiracy against his own father, Pharaoh Ramses III. If true, his execution may have been a punishment meant to curse his soul for eternity. Another case was found in Saqqara, where an entire burial chamber held mummies showing similar expressions. Some researchers suggest they suffered from poisoning, strangulation, or even being buried alive. Others believe the distortion is simply a result of natural decomposition, but that explanation doesn't account for the rushed, almost careless embalming. Were these people deliberately denied passage to the afterlife? And if so, what had they done to deserve it? While the screaming mummies remain a terrifying enigma, another discovery speaks not of suffering but of grandeur. One of Egypt's most legendary sarcophagi, hidden away for centuries, belongs to a pharaoh whose tomb pushed the limits of ancient engineering. Seti I's tomb in the Valley of the Kings is one of the most breathtaking ever discovered. Unlike many others, which were looted long ago, Seti's burial chamber remained mostly intact, its walls covered in detailed carvings, its corridors stretching far deeper than expected. But the real mystery lies in his sarcophagus, a masterpiece that has puzzled historians for years. Carved from a single block of alabaster, this massive sarcophagus isn't just a coffin, it's almost translucent, glowing eerily under light. Some believe this was intentional, meant to mimic the radiance of the stars. The ancient Egyptians saw death as a journey through the night sky, and Seti's burial may have been designed to reflect that very path. But there's another mystery. When Seti's tomb was uncovered, his body was missing. The sarcophagus was there, perfectly preserved, yet no one lay inside. His mummy was later found elsewhere, in a different tomb. Was his original burial disturbed, or did the ancient priests hide him on purpose? Some have even speculated that Seti's sarcophagus was more than just a container for the dead. that it was part of a forgotten ritual or technology meant to aid the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife. The tomb's architecture itself suggests that its builders had advanced knowledge of design and construction, and Seti I wasn't the only ruler whose tomb revealed something unusual. Deep in Saqqara, an object was unearthed that doesn't belong in the ancient world at all. A stone artifact, so perfectly crafted that some believe it could have been a part of a lost machine. Some artifacts raise questions, others shouldn't exist at all. One such object was uncovered in the tomb of Prince Sabu at Saqqara, a finely crafted disc-shaped object made from fragile schist stone, dating back over 5,000 years. Its design is unlike anything else from ancient Egypt, leading some to speculate that it was part of a lost technology. The disc is not a simple bowl or plate. It has precise curved blades extending from a central hub, resembling a modern flywheel or turbine component. How could craftsmen of that time create something so intricate from a material as delicate as schist, which breaks easily under pressure? Some believe it was purely ceremonial, an object meant for religious use. But others aren't convinced. The shape is functional, designed for rotation, efficiency, and movement, traits not typically associated with ancient artifacts. Mainstream historians argue that the disc was a ritual object, perhaps a stand or an incense holder, yet nothing similar has ever been found. And why would an elite prince, not a priest or artisan, be buried with something so mechanically complex? Theories range from an advanced, lost Egyptian craft to something even stranger. Some suggest the disc could be a replica of a device they once saw, a memory of a machine long forgotten. While the schist disc remains a mystery, another discovery proves just how much of Egypt's past is still buried beneath the sand. For centuries, one of its greatest cities lay hidden, waiting to be found. And when it was, what archaeologists uncovered shocked the world. Tanis was once one of the most powerful cities in Egypt. A royal capital during the 21st and 22nd dynasties, it was a center of trade, culture, and wealth. But at some point, the city simply disappeared. For centuries, historians didn't know its exact location. It was whispered about in ancient texts but left no clear trace, until its ruins were finally uncovered in the 1930s. What archaeologists found was stunning. Gigantic stone temples, colossal statues, and entire royal tombs, all hidden beneath the sands of the Nile Delta. Unlike the Valley of the Kings, where tombs were carefully cut into rock, Tanis's burials were above ground, making them vulnerable to time. The shifting landscape swallowed the city whole, preserving a forgotten royal necropolis unlike anything seen before. Inside the tombs, researchers discovered untouched treasure, including solid silver sarcophagi, golden masks, and jewelry rivaling even Tutankhamun's riches. One of the greatest finds was the tomb of Susens I, a pharaoh whose burial remained intact while others were looted long ago. But something about Tanis felt off. It was a capital without a clear reason for its rise or fall. There were no natural defenses, no strategic location. Why was it built, and why was it abandoned so suddenly? Some researchers believe a disaster struck Tanis, forcing its people to flee. Others speculate that shifting river patterns turned the once thriving city into an uninhabitable swamp. But there are whispers of something more unnatural, that Tanis was erased from history on purpose. Could there be something hidden beneath its ruins, something that Egypt's later rulers wanted forgotten? Tanis proved that entire cities can disappear, swallowed by time. And if such a massive metropolis was lost for so long, what else remains undiscovered beneath the shifting sands? In the shadow of Dashur's pyramids, a discovery was made that still baffles archaeologists. Dozens of sealed jars buried for millennia, untouched, their contents still a mystery. These weren't ordinary storage containers. Their lids were fused shut with ancient resin, almost as if something inside was never meant to be opened. The jars were found near the buried pyramid, a collapsed structure belonging to Pharaoh Sneferu. Some believe they were part of an ancient ritual, containing oils, food, or sacred substances meant for the afterlife. But others question why, after so many years, no one has dared to break them open. Were they meant to hold something too dangerous to expose? Ancient Egyptians were known to use powerful chemicals for mummification. Some speculate these jars could hold long-lost preservation techniques, or even a forgotten element of embalming. Others suggest a more unsettling theory, that these containers sealed away a curse, a practice seen in later Egyptian burials. Until one is finally opened, the truth remains locked inside. Not far from Dashur, another forgotten project tells the story of ambition beyond its time. A structure that, had it been completed, could have changed everything we know about Egypt's stone carving abilities. In the quarries of Aswan lies one of Egypt's greatest what-ifs, a massive obelisk still connected to the bedrock. If completed, it would have been the largest obelisk ever built, towering over any known monument. But something went wrong. A crack appeared in the stone and the project was abandoned instantly. Historians argue this was simply a mistake, a flaw in the stone that made it impossible to continue. But others point to the technique used to carve it: smooth, precise cuts in granite, one of the hardest materials to shape. The tools available at the time shouldn't have been capable of such accuracy. Could the Egyptians have used a more advanced technology than we understand? Some believe the obelisk's failure was more than just an accident. Why didn't they attempt to carve another? Why abandon such a monumental project entirely? Some theories suggest a catastrophe struck the workers, or that this monument was tied to a forgotten purpose, one that was suddenly deemed too dangerous to complete. While the unfinished obelisk was never raised, another recent discovery in Egypt has left experts speechless. A coffin unlike any other, its color and craftsmanship suggesting a burial of deep significance, or perhaps something more unsettling. That's about it. Write in the comments which of these finds shocked you the most. For more useful information, watch other videos.